welcome back to the channel. Let's see what the showroom has in store for today. Oh, look at that. Look at all those spots. I mean, so this is all going to collapse. It seemed like it stopped dripping a lot because it started snowing yesterday, so everything's frozen up there. So now that's going to melt and be a slow leak, even slower, not just get it over with. And it takes time because it has to, wherever it's coming through the roof, drip, go in the batting gets soaked, blah, blah, blah. I did leave the heat up last night to try to dry this out some, and it seemed like it helped a little bit as far as keeping things maybe drying up. Yeah, but this is what we're looking at on the third day of the rain forecast. Right now, it's really not raining, but it could. So that almost is full. So I got to empty that. Got to empty that one. This one's not too bad, but this bucket does have a crack on one of the sides, so it will leak at a certain point. So I guess I'll empty that one. That one's pretty full too. And, you know, this whole area had drips everywhere. I only caught where I could catch, the best to my ability, seeing as they didn't even come by and bring buckets or anything. There was a wet spot here, so that dried up. And that's still there, though. Obviously, it's not going anywhere. So once it starts dripping again, it will, you know, obviously be a problem. This one is still wet. You can tell by the color. That one's still wet a little bit, so, but it must be such a small drop now, which is weird because that was one of the spots that was filling up pretty quick before. It didn't catch all this water. I've dumped the pitcher and stuff in this bucket, but this is caught all from the ceiling, so that's a fair amount in that bucket, mop bucket. You can see where it's leaking from the light. So is it going into the light? Is it going to short out the light? Is it going to cause a fire? Who knows? Guess, you know, this ain't my problem, not my building. So yeah, there we have it. I think I just kind of leave this here. This one's not dripping again. It moved over to there, so that's why the bucket's there. Of course, it could change during the night. I've been fortunate that it hasn't, as far as where the original drips are, but you know, then we get new ones, and I don't really have anything to catch them. As I said, you would think the owners would have come by with, say, some Home Depot buckets and been like, here's 10 buckets, you know, can you at least put them under where if it starts dripping while you're here? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. But I'm not running out and buying stuff. Not my property. Not my care in the world at this point. So let's go ahead and show you the office, which, hey, is slowly getting worse. Luckily, it's slowly. So that's still dry, but over there is wet. And yeah, getting bigger slowly. So that's a slow one. And then the rest of the space, I did not see anything this morning. Still dry, still dry. This one in here is still the same. We know because if it was dripping, the carpet would be soaked, and it's not. So we are good here. Okay. Obviously in the hallway, without having that skylight, and note, if it actually rains hard, we were talking about this, that we might flood in here because, you know, this is level with there, and if we got a torrential downpour, the hallway's not made to drain. So you can see how wide the wet area got up against the building and stuff. It's not made to be wet out here. There's no drainage. And we have that, so my fear is if we got a torrential downpour, it might go this way, get stuck there, and build up, and then come into here. Again, not my building, not my concern. I'm done caring about the building other than, you know, we can't use a space. It's hard to work on somebody's bike that needs some work. That one This one over here is a customer's bike. We're waiting for a motor, but you know, I gotta basically work over on the side here at this point. Yeah, I can't have multiple things going on at once. Thank goodness we don't have all those e-bikes. Back when we could get e-rides, we had that whole side, plus thrones too, on that wall in the boxes. Imagine, I would, there's nowhere I would have been able to put them, you know, so they would have just got wet, damaged. I don't know. But that would have definitely been an insurance claim to our triple net for the building. But the owners will not provide us with that information, as I've mentioned before. So anyways, that is the update of Monument Rock Properties property here in Monument, Colorado, that is managed by Griffis Blessing Property Management Company. You would have thought at least they would have showed up with some buckets. They would have sent a handyman out to show up with some buckets or something. You would have thought they would have come, not just take a look, but maybe at the beginning of this when we mentioned the first rain on the weekend, sent somebody out to get on the roof. I don't know if you could lay a tarp down, attach a tarp, or do something. They sell really huge tarps that maybe you could have, you know, directed a lot of the rain right to the gutter. Maybe it's just clogged up there and we're full of water on the side of the building, and hence why the leaks. Because that's my theory, is everything is sloping down to this drain back here, and the drain for the roof comes through our building. That's why it leaked over in this corner. That's why it leaked in this corner before. Okay, see there's a coupling and stuff. So the drain goes right on through the building. We believe that is one of the drains. Yeah. You know, and it has like a 10-cent automotive coupling on it, it looks like. Yeah, I don't know, man. As I said, I've stopped caring. So anyways, that's the update. Y'all take care, stay well, stay safe, and stay dry. And I'll try to do the same. Have a good one. Bye. So I just emptied the buckets of the water, and I had mentioned that there's no, those are still dry. And I turned the corner to go wash my hands, and look what I see. This whole tile now is wet. Which makes me wonder, let's see, these are this special type of material, so it would have to leak, but it could still leak in here on the floor, and that's when you're going to notice it. But I don't see anything. Of course, there's a fan it could leak onto and short out, and who knows, cause an electrical fire. Who knows? Yeah. Wow. So I just wanted to bring you all that because I'm documenting this for my use for court, and for obviously to show the owners, to show the property management. So there, that one's a new development. And this is today. You can see the snow on the roof over there, on the roofs over there. So, and now my truck from home. So that's all gonna melt and start dripping. And I think it's supposed to still rain today at some point. So, good times. Take care.